Sing it with me. Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul with a corncob pipe and a butt. Start again. Frosty the Snowman, that was fucked up, was a jolly, happy soul. There it is. With a corncob pipe and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. Yeah. Frosty the Snowman was a fairy tale, they say. He's made of snow, but the children know how he came to life one day. Yeah, there must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. 'Cause when they put it... Anyway, man. Welcome. I got to learn Frosty the Snowman. I forgot how to play the goddamn song. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the program. Holy smokes. We're going to talk about politics. We're going to put Frosty down for a while. And we're going to talk about a very, very, very interesting story here in America. Very interesting. In fact, so interesting that it might not be allowed to be spoken. For the longest time, anybody who spoke of this very, very ugly accusational story about possible election interference by government agencies in America, namely the FBI, has been rigorously frowned upon and labeled Russian propaganda. But it does seem right now in America, thank you, Elon Musk, the great billionaire Elon Musk, exposing the high hell out of everybody and everything at Twitter. And slowly but surely, we're finding out what we already knew, that Twitter and Facebook and Google simultaneously shut down a story that back in 2020 that had a direct link to Joe Biden, his son, doing shenanigans in the Ukraine, working for gas and oil companies that didn't really need them or anything, and kicking back, taking the money and kicking back favors. In America, we used to call that bribery. We used to call it quid pro quo. We used to call it election cheating. But now we just call it the rules of engagement. See, here in America, there is no election rigging. Get that out of your mind. There is no cheating per se. There's nothing of the sort, because in elections there is no morality. There is no right or wrong. All there is in American elections is who wins, who at the end of the day is declared the winner. Right? So this notion that cheating in American elections is something new, it's really not new at all. It's as old as the it's as old as the Constitution itself. It's when the kingpins, founding fathers, aka white racists, for some, sat down and realized that elections of the people, by the people, and for the people will be flawed of the people, by the people, and for the people. In some way, there's no perfection in that system. But what it appears that we've come to, especially when you consider what's transpiring over at Twitter, where the actual files are being released, the actual testimony of people inside Twitter is being released, we see just how nefarious government, in this case, government itself, the FBI, right, the highest ranking enforcement agency in America, supposed to be very integral, supposed to be for and by the people, to protect the people. It turns out, based on the evidence, that they did, in fact, interfere. And how did they do that? They basically went to Twitter and Facebook and said that you know, 7 agents show up at your door and say, we suspect election interference by who? The dirty Russians. Right? And as the story of Joe Biden's son's laptop, Hunter Biden, starts to hit the media, you have censorship at an epic level. Now, who's causing that? Right? Well, it's a combination of a lot of things. It is the FBI initiating and giving permission to censor out these opinions and data coming down. But what's more interesting about it is that inside Twitter, you actually have people on the far left that believe what they're doing is right for the country. I'll say that again. Most of the left-wing extremists in this case believe that what they're doing is proper, right up to the top echelon at Twitter, with the exception of Elon Musk, because he wasn't there when it happened. Right? They believe it. And then what happens? The FBI comes in and says, unequivocally, start to shut down voices as you see this type of story evolve. That is election interference at the highest level. That's what it is. That's what it looks like. Now, you could say, well, the FBI didn't really interfere per se in anything. All they did was tell the mainstream social media networks, where all people in America and abroad are speaking openly and honestly, trying to figure out who they're going to vote for. You could say that shutting down 80 million people or manipulating 80 million people on Twitter is not election interference. Now, I beg to differ. I think it is. And shutting down an American president right before an election so he can't speak, and all along being vilified by an FBI that doesn't like him, a.k.a. Donald Trump. Anybody who thinks that the FBI was ultimately sided with Donald Trump or became Donald Trump's ally, you would be wrong in that. The FBI waited to for that chance to stick a knife in his back and get rid of him. And the 2020 election was a great example of that. Now, again, this type of discussion, I'm not making the case pro or con. I'm going to show you the evidence as it's rolling in from Matt Taibbi, from Rolling Stone, from Elon Musk himself, and testimony from the employees at Twitter that corroborate this story of FBI interference. Now, again, we're not talking about what Donald Trump was talking about, stuffing ballot boxes and such. What we're talking about is at a more nefarious level of using government agencies to suppress the opinions and the free flow of information so that people have it and can make educated decisions about who they want to vote for. Right? And ultimately, you got to ask yourself, how and why is the Democratic Party, how did they get so in bed with the FBI to allow this sort of thing to happen? In 2016, they got the FBI to blame Russia for their own hack at the DNC. They claimed, oh yeah, the Russians came in and hacked the DNC servers, and then the DNC hires a company like CrowdStrike, which is their own people, to investigate. Not the FBI. They hired a third party to investigate the hack, and the third party confirmed that it was Russia. And the FBI sat silent on that. That's also election interference at epic levels, right? So this is a problem in our country. It's not a problem where one party per se interferes with the other. Remember that politics and government are one. Right? At the time, although Donald Trump was the president in 2016 through 2020, he was the president, the FBI continued to support the Democratic agenda Democratic Party agenda and such, right? So those pieces were still in place until they got their opportunity to stick a knife in Trump's back, in many ways. But the Hunter Biden laptop story of how the FBI interfered in that unbelievable, earth-shaking, ground-shaking revelation that Biden and his kid were intimately involved in quid pro quo in the Ukraine. And this reporter would argue that not only that, but Biden and his son were instrumental in the collapse of the Ukrainian government falling into the pocket of Russia. Because when you accuse a country like Ukraine and its president, Vladimir Zelensky, of nefarious activity, colluding with Trump, who was then impeached, right? When you do that, you create a power vacuum. And when the power vacuum is obvious to all the superpowers, namely Russia, they say, oh shit, America just pulled away from Zelensky in the Ukraine, let's take it back, right? What's the United States going to do? They just vilified Ukraine. Now they're going to come in and try to save the day, which is precisely what the Americans did. We came in and tried to vilify Russia over the Ukraine, who was an enemy 10 minutes ago. So you see how all of these politics. I'm reading the slam dunk case if courts were true, says Charles B. Yeah, the courts, courts are rigged as well. We don't use rigging, but we say, the courts are heavily biased in favor of the political party that appointed them. And not only that, many of the judges that are appointed to these high positions believe the nonsense. They believe that Trump was the orange monster that was going to eat their babies and cause all kinds of problems in their country, turn it into a white supremacist racist nation. Right? They believe that. In their minds, they believe it. Right? So anyway, so that's what we'll talk about today. Is my thumbnail today. Elon Musk. We got to worship thy leader, right? Elon Musk is leading us out of the abyss, and sort of. So thank you everybody for joining me. Everybody's here. Weevil Girl is here. Good morning. Barry Atkins, hello. Ron Frey, Vinny DiMartini in the house on the wrench. Don't be a dick in the chat, and you won't get axed. We don't really have a dickery problem anymore, right? The dicks they lost their power here. The dicks here went limp and went away. Tetragramma Ghost, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Sidanto. How you doing, man? How's everybody doing? Jim Gerard is here as well. Ruby Jules, my man. Check out Ruby Jules' channel. He's got his shorts, some very, very interesting and trippy, way out there kind of entertaining shorts being put out by our friend Ruby Jules. So thank you everybody for joining me. This is my website. I have one. It's marcusconti.com, spelled as as it sounds, .com. Every morning at 9 a.m. we are live. We weren't live Friday because I did a tobacco video, which I want to tell you about. I want to tell you all about it, and then we'll move on. But I do have a website. If we're ever lost, if this site goes down, which it can, because we're talking about very, very bully, controversial subject, like can we trust the government? You think about it. We're being shut down because we're asking the question: can we trust the government? That would have been that was a long time ago, even when I was a kid. That was the types of discussions you were supposed to be having. But now, you ask the question: can you trust the government? You're banned and bullied and hacked and ridiculed and like Elon Musk, he might have to get an armored car so nobody shoots him. Pretty crazy. But when free speech fails here on the main platform, YouTube, we head over to DLive, and you'll find the link right here if that should happen, and it probably will. I want to talk about this right here on the. I stumbled on this on the Granny Cat channel. How to make high quality tobacco in your own backyard for pennies. For pennies on the dollar. I'm going to drop the link right here. Let's support the. Let's support this fascinating video. All right, hit that link right there. I put it up 3 times. Hit the link. Watch the video if you're interested in growing high quality tobacco. I sure am. Right? High quality tobacco in your own backyard for pennies. Watch the video. I give it all to you. I give it all to you on the Granny Cat channel. How to grow from seed all the way to smoke. And I think it's interesting. I wanted to get it all out there on a video, and I talked about it enough right here. But now, if you watch the video, you'll know everything about it. So do me a favor, go over there and hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe to the Granny Cat channel if you're not already if you're already there. We had 4 thumbs up. Give you a slideshow of everything and now we got 5. Can we get to 10? Can we get to 10? Can we get to 10 thumbs up on the Granny Cat channel? Hit it. Come on, man. Come on, do me hook a brother up, man. Hook a brother up. There's 5. All right, so hit the thumbs up over there. And enjoy that video. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. So that's all. That's the only story I have today, and I want to I want to take a deep dive into the story. We'll look at the markets at 9:30 and such. So here we go. The FBI warned Twitter during weekly meetings of Hunter Biden hack and leak operation before censoring the post. So the FBI had a heads up about the Hunter Biden laptop. The son, the crackhead son, who put his laptop in the hands of some tech in upstate New York or in Delaware, wherever it was. And the tech turned around and says, holy shit, this is the son of the president, the presidential candidate, Joe Biden, former vice president. This is his son talking about all kinds of shady shit in the Ukraine that flies in the face of the official narrative. So the FBI then turns around and warns, not about the Hunter Biden laptop being hacked material, but there is hacking. Right? So let's read and find out. Right? This is direct election interference on an epic level. Right? No doubt about it. The FBI warned Twitter during weekly meetings before the 2020 election to expect, quote, hack and leak operations by, quote, state actors involving Hunter Biden and likely in October, according to a sworn declaration by Twitter's former head of site integrity, Yoel Roth. So there it is under a sworn affidavit. If the guy's lying, he goes to jail for 5 years. So he went on the record and said, because why? Because Elon Musk now has the key to the records, and they're going to find out for sure. So if this guy lies, he's going to be, caught. His name is Yoel Roth, top guy at Twitter, is saying basically that the FBI warned them that the Hunter Biden story that's about to evolve is fake, is Russian hacking propaganda, and therefore no one's allowed to see it. Right? Now, in the old days, we would praise a leak like that. You remember the Pentagon Papers with Watergate? Remember Watergate? And we found out that one party was hacked the office of the other, was eavesdropping and listening to the events of the other party so that they could beat the other party. They were cheating. They were listening to they had a microphone in the other team's huddle, and they were listening to what was going on. And for that, Richard Nixon resigned. He was caught red-handed. Right? But today, such activity is allowed, right? It's allowed. You're allowed to do that. Right? So the warnings were so specific that Twitter immediately censored the post's scoop about Hunter Biden's laptop on October 14, 2020, citing its hacked materials policy. A move described on Saturday as election interference by Twitter's new owner, Elon Musk. So, love him or hate him, respect him or vilify him, Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter, is now telling you that the FBI, based on his information and his eyewitness, looking at the stuff at Twitter, is telling you that the FBI interfered in the 2020 election. Now, you could say that, well, that wouldn't have swung the election anyway. Well, I don't know about that. If Twitter is 80 million subscribers, they say, even if it's 50 million, that's a lot of people. That sure is a lot of people considering, something that is so weight heavy on an election. When people go to the ballot box, they want to know their candidate, right? And we already knew who Trump was, right? But we didn't really know full well who Joe Biden was and who his kids were. We didn't really know who Hunter Biden was. Nobody cared. We heard him talk about his dead son, Beau, but we didn't know about the crackhead horror fucking, Hunter Biden. We didn't know about that kid, right? And his shenanigans in the Ukraine. And I believe, this reporter believes, that if people would have considered that, it might have helped them make a better decision. And based on that decision, what do we get? We almost got World War III with Russia, right? Russia invades Ukraine because of a power vacuum created in the West, right? That's how it happened. It wasn't out of nowhere. The power vacuum was created by the Biden administration by accusing Zelensky, the president of the country, for colluding with Donald Trump to expose him, Joe Biden, as a fraud or as a Russian oligarch. Right? So those are the facts, right? The extraordinary revelation for the first time lays bare now that FBI was involved in pre-bunking the story of the laptop. Right? What happens if it wasn't the laptop? What happens if it was some other story? I don't know, like the Russians hacked the DNC. You remember that story? That has been completely and utterly debunked and seen for what it was, which was a creation inside the DNC with Hillary Clinton, Robbie Mook, John Podesta, James Comey, what was the other one? Donna Brazil, CNN, MSNBC, right? It was a big fucking story that they were whipping together so that they can beat Trump, who's the Antichrist and has to be beaten because, right? And then, and so how did that information about the DNC cheating, hacking, and rigging the election against Bernie Sanders, how did it ultimately get out? Well, the FBI says it was the Russian hacks, but there's no evidence of that. The evidence points to an inside dump, namely, I guess in my view, it was Seth Rich who passed it on to WikiLeaks. We found out through WikiLeaks what the DNC was up to, not through CrowdStrike, not through the FBI, through WikiLeaks, reading the emails ourselves. And what happened? When the public was made aware of it, what happened? We saw the DNC and the Hillary Clinton, fucking army as bad actors. And what happened? The election swung to Trump because of the dirty deeds of the Democrat, not because of the dirty deeds of the Russians. So these are all fronts. I know. It's all conspiracy theory, but the dots connect. Amazingly, really. So I was told in those meetings. This is Joel Roth, top Jew at Twitter. I was told in these meetings that the intelligence community expected that individuals associated with political campaigns would be subject to hacking attacks, and that material obtained through those hacking attacks would likely be disseminated over social media platforms. Right? Said Roth at 2020 to the Federal Elections Commission. Confirmed. Confirmed. What more do we need to know? Now we're going to make, old Roth disappear? He spoke truth. Now he'll be the villain, right? I tell you, man, you got to watch out. Elon Musk better, he's got the money, but he better get, some serious protection around him, because, you're messing with law enforcement agents that will come after you. Elon Musk has already been threatened by the White House that they're going to look into his business dealings, says Joe Biden. They're going to look into Elon Musk's business dealings to make sure he's not doing anything bad. Right? That's not how you investigate someone in America. Someone does something bad, right? They're innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until they can prove themselves innocent. Right? It's the opposite. Right? So I also learned in these meetings that there were rumors that a hack and leak operation would involve Hunter Biden. So confirmed, Twitter was threatened by the FBI. You say, oh, wait a minute. Whoa, wait, where? The FBI didn't threaten anybody. They just came in and said that the Russians are hacking and there's information and you can't put it out there because you're siding with the Russians. You become a Russian asset, right? The FBI is saying, we told you so, and why did you release this information to the public? You're working with the Russians. And they'll come and they'll confiscate your computers. And fucking, that's what they'll do. Right? Is that a theory? No. That's what they do. Right? That's what they will do. That's what they're using law enforcement as a strong arm to get big tech to censor the stories that they deem censorable. Right? That's what happened. Right? So, is that election interference? Well, seems like it is. Right? They're interfering in an election. Right? The story, and then everybody who talked about the story got exiled. Even in this breaking story right now, where Twitter is coming clean, thank you to Elon Musk. As this story breaks, you could see how people like me are banned. My main channel right now is locked for 2 weeks for something that has nothing to do with this at all. All right? Suppression. Suppress these conflicting stories. Vilify the people that are talking about it because they're bad. Right? But the reality is, someone like me is talking about it because I still believe, call me old-fashioned, but I believe in the American way. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in separation of power, executive branch, Congress, legal. I believe in these things. I believe in a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Right? I believe in the ability of the people to auto-correct its tyrannic government and reverse it and air it out. Right? And so that's why I talk about it, because I like free and fair elections in this country. I like the idea of people being able to run for office and not be appointed. And that's my only motivation, really. So when I see something like this, I'm inclined, based on the evidence, to believe that the FBI interfered in the 2020 election to censor a blockbuster, fucking earth-shaking story that reveals corruption within a particular party on an epic level. So much so that it could start a world war. So much so that it's vilifying leaders of foreign nations, millions of dollars exchanging hands for quid pro quo, favors being sold on the auction block. So that's why I'm talking about it. Just for the record, bots. Just for the record. So Roth's signed declaration formed part of Twitter's defense against a complaint by the Tea Party Patriots Foundation and its censorship of the post. All right. So what else can we find out? Fed social gatherings. The FBI also warned Facebook to be on high alert for a dump of Russian propaganda before the 2020 election in terms specific enough that it fit the pattern of the Post's story, CEO Mark Zuckerberg told on a podcast on Joe Rogan in August. So it's not just Twitter. It's not just Twitter. It was also Facebook, based on the testimony of the lead Facebook guy, Mark Zuckerberg, that the FBI came to them and said, Russian propaganda, it's everywhere, and it has to do with the Hunter Biden laptop. You got to get rid of the story. FBI desperately working to suppress a story that they knew full well had nothing to do with Russian propaganda, that was real. They were presented with the laptop. They knew about it. Rudy Giuliani handed them the laptop that the Post had exposed, right? In a crack stupor, gave the evidence over to some dude in Delaware who was trying to fix a computer, who then turned around and gave it to Rudy Giuliani and exposed it on an epic level. New York Post did a great job of exposing it. So there you go. There's Hunter. Don't talk about it. Oh my God, he's a hero, man. He's being wrongfully prosecuted because he's the son of the president. Oh, he's a fucking hoodlum, right? He's a hoodlum. What else can we find out? Let's keep going. Smoking gun. This is the original article back in 2020. Smoking gun email reveals how Hunter Biden introduced Ukraine businessman to VP dad. Oh, quid pro quo. We got to stop that. We can't have it. Stuff that story. I'll also say stop looking for the smoking gun. Right? You have it already. You already have the smoking gun. You see how government FBI intervention suppresses stories. They pressure people who have a similar ideology, like Yoel Roth, who's at Twitter, who's unsympathetic, is just saying, well, we don't want Trump to be president anyway, so fuck it, let's just do it. Right? It's a 1-2-3 punch. It's a punch, kick. It's almost, I feel like I'm winded telling this story, but it is breaking news because of the position Elon Musk finds himself in, which he has access to all of Twitter records, right? And now he's coming clean with it. He's trying to make it a neutral platform, and the left and the FBI are losing their fucking minds over it. Right? Will anything legal transpire by way of the FBI being held accountable for this? Hell fucking no. Not going to happen. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's being prosecuted. Biden is not getting dragged off to Guantanamo. Hunter Biden is not going to spend 10 years in jail. The FBI leaders are not going to jail. Get that out of your mind. This is American politics. This is how it works. Whoever holds the highest levels and has their finger on the throttle of power, they win. Right? Truth. Truth. You want the truth? You want the truth that we rig our own we manipulate the elections to get the sheep. We gaslight the high fucking shit out of American populace to get our way. That's the truth you want people to hear. Come on, man. This is fucking. They're not even gonna understand what you're talking about. They can't connect those dots. They need someone like you to connect it, right? And we're gonna shut you up. We're not gonna let you speak about it and educate the populace on what we're doing. How fucking crazy would that be? So anyway, What else can we find out about this fascinating story? Oh shit, it's 9:30. Let's drop everything and look at the markets. Let's see how the markets are reacting to this latest round of political corruption. So it looks like the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 180, holding steady at 34,200. That's pretty high for the Dow. NASDAQ holding steady at 11,400, down 42 at the moment. S&P 500 down 20. So we're looking at a little bit of a red open. We'll see how that pans out as the week transpires. Apple up $2.50. Amazon down 50 cents. Google, the mighty Google, that will censor the fucking shit out of you if you let them. We love Google. We love Google. We love YouTube. We're actually trying to support Google and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. See, we want you guys to come clean. We realize the pressure that you're being placed under. We see it, right? And we want to help you empty the fucking coffers of radical left kids that have these radical opinions about this vast majority of people in the middle of the country that happen to be white and happen to have a Trump sign on their lawn as being white supremacists, racists, gun-slinging, life-loving fucking patriots, right? Right? We hate them. We're liberal left. We live in the cities. We're black and Spanish and Latino and Chinese. And we hate the middle of America because they're white supremacists, man. And then you ask one of the liberals in New York and say, hey, have you ever been to Missouri? Have you ever been to Texas? Have you ever been to Pennsylvania in these white blocks of the nation? And they're like, no, man, no, I've never been there. So how do you know that they're white supremacist racists? How do you know that if you've never even been there? Because some jerk-off at the New York Times told you that's what they are? You believe them? You believe them? Why do you believe them? What white person do you know that ever hated you? Right? It's almost bizarre, right? When you reel it in like that. So I hate the fucking whites, man. I hate them, man. So that's what's going on in the market today. Dig in. What else is talking about? So let's just keep surfing these fascinating articles. What's missing from the Twitter files? The truth about the FBI. Let's find out, man. So as Hunter Biden, Matt Taibbi apparently gave a groundbreaking revelation about this. I don't think of Matt Taibbi as giving any real revelation whatsoever, but he did talk about it. Hold on a second. Smoke break. Smoke break. Advertisement. How to grow high quality tobacco in your own backyard. Hit the like button on the Granny channel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Go there. How many thumbs up we got? We got 6. We got 6 thumbs up on the Granny Cat channel. I love it, man. I love it. Love it. Keep going, man. Keep it going. So Elon Musk, according to the Post, half delivered on his promise to tell all about Twitter's censorship of the New York Post's Hunter Biden laptop before the 2020 election. Right? Look, even if this, look, we in America, we swallow the fact. We have to suck it up that the Democrats prevailed as the winner, right? Even though some patriots, some people in this great nation showed up on the steps of Congress to voice their opinion about the outcome of the 2020 election, they were silenced, vilified, labeled as domestic terrorists. They were bullied and buggered and jailed and surveilled. And one of them was killed, Ashley Babbitt, who got shot in the face by a cop, right? For what started as just a peaceful protest and ultimately ended as a peaceful protest. Remember that January 6th ended very, very peacefully. Not because there were so many cops around to silence it. It's because the people themselves who showed up were not violent people. They showed up and showed the utmost respect of the steps of Congress when they finally got in there. Yeah, they broke a few windows. So what? All right, windows get broken sometimes at a, at a protest. All right, a little civil disobedience. Do we really care that Nancy Pelosi's, front door, the doorknob got knocked off? That's okay. Nancy Pelosi's got many, many millions to fix the doorknob after everybody leaves. Right? You can hang up the doorknob as a souvenir. Right? Sell it on eBay for $20,000. This is my doorknob. This is Nancy Pelosi. This is my doorknob that the white supremacist racists tried to come in and kill me, and they knocked this door off the hinge, and I'm trying to sell it on eBay to raise money for a better cause. Sell it, man. So on and on and on. Here's the tech that deserves so much credit. John Paul Mack, who's watching over his back every 10 minutes, who brought the laptop to the attention of the FBI. The FBI told him, people that have stories like this best say nothing and stay safe. Right? That's what he was threatened as well by the FBI. Make the story go away. Matt Talby says, although several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. Okay, I disagree with Matt Talby. You do have the evidence. You have the testimony of Joel Roth, the top Twitter guy, telling you that the FBI fucking told him to get rid of this story. What more evidence do you need? The FBI, what happens when 10 FBI agents roll into the headquarters of Twitter and tell them, right? Fear. Oh my God, the FBI is here. They can find out whatever they want. What other corruption and shit are they going to find out? Are we going to go to jail? I don't know, but make that fucking story go away. And there lies the threat. There lies the strong arm of your government, Matt Talby. Your government, the strong arm of your government, leaning on a social media conglomerate full of left-wing jackasses that believe that Trump is the devil, right? They're doing it, right? What more evidence do you need? What smoking gun? What do you want? You want an actual written email from the FBI telling Twitter to close down this story? Are you kidding me? The FBI is not going to do that. They're going to come in and create the fog of war, which is what they do. CIA, FBI, fog of war. Oh, those Russians, they're everywhere. You gotta make them. Oh no, they're everywhere. They're popping out of fucking a bowl of rice. Right? That's what they do. They create the smoke screen. Right? They give. Gushy asks, what happened to my teeth? That's a good question. I don't know, man. It doesn't have anything to do with smoking. My teeth, for the record, have been falling out since I'm 25 years old. It started with my back teeth. I speculate that my teeth fell out because I had braces later in life, like when I was 20. I put braces. I bought some braces from a dentist, whatever. I had braces. And I suspect that the movement of my teeth caused the problem that later they all shuck loose. Right? The problem wasn't there before the braces. So I would suspect if I didn't intervene in my own health, in my own vanity to try to create straighter teeth, I probably still would have them. And hey, look, I'll eventually get some kind of I'll get some fake teeth eventually. But I'm actually enjoying it because when I sing, I sound like an old man, and I kind of like that. It's kind of a haunting sound that's coming through. They're like the wind of your, you sound like an old man, So, but anyway, man, I'm doing okay, man. Don't feel too bad for me. I'm enjoying it. Right? I'm living. This Joe Biden, fucking Joe Biden. What else we got, man? So, latest Twitter staff to be grilled grilled before Congress for censoring Hunter Biden laptop story, says Rep. Comer. So we got representatives now that the Congress is controlled. The House of Representatives is now controlled by the Republicans. Those conservatives that they feel that they were targeted and attacked are now they're pulling out the heavy guns, and they're going to investigate the Hunter Biden laptop story to see if there's any validity to it. But I thought it was the Russians. Oh, those Republicans are siding with the Russians, says the FBI. All right. So here you go, man. Can't make it up. The top Republicans on the House Oversight Committee said that Twitter staff involved in suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop story ahead of the 2020 presidential elections will face Congress and testify about their actions. Pow, bang, zoom. Bringing in former Twitter employees to go on the record as to what happens under the penalty of perjury, 5 years in prison. You remember when you almost locked up Steve Bannon and Roger Stone and everybody else in the immediate circle of Trump for lying to Congress, while Hillary Clinton did it over 20 times and walked? Well, now you're going to have Twitter employees grilled by the Republican Party. And they will fold. They will capitulate and tell you exactly what happens. Is it going to make a big difference in American politics? No. The spin machine, Adam Schiff, they were already going to tell you that this is what we had to do. We had to stop Trump. You don't want white supremacists running your nation. You don't want immigrants getting kicked out. You don't want blacks being treated like slaves. You don't want fucking the planet to dissolve because of climate change, and on and on and on. They'll justify their actions. They'll justify their interference, not because of their own desire for power and control, but because it's in your best interest. See, you agree that Trump is the devil. We already sold you that idea. You already agree that the Russians hacked the elections. Most of you believe that one. You believe that Hunter Biden is a saint, and Joe Biden is a wonderful guy who deserves to be president and won the election. Well, you believe that because we told you. So they're going to get grilled. They're going on the block. Their heads are getting put on the block. Former global head of trust and safety at Twitter reveals widespread scientific censorship. Let's follow the science on this one. What is scientific censorship? Well, that's when you use algorithms, which are scientifically proven to work, and use them as filters to filter out conflicting ideas, people that we see as a threat. After Elon Musk's buyout and ongoing release of the Twitter files, the cat is out of the bag. When it comes to Twitter's extreme leftist political agenda and their collusion with the federal government and the DNC. I don't really know what I want to talk about here. But there it is, the headline. Is it true? Yeah, it is true when you read through the article. Here he is again. This is the guy. His name is Roth. He's on the record unremorsefully telling you that Twitter was strong-armed look, in Roth's mind, Twitter was given permission to censor the radical left, the radical right, as they perceive them. They're all white supremacists. They're homophobes. They hate us. They're racist. They're misogynist. They want to take away our right to choose. They don't want us to choose our own destiny by with Roe v. Wade. Right? They don't like us. They don't like who we are. That's who's hired at Twitter. And that's what Elon Musk is doing. He's weeding out these radical people and putting in sane, balanced people who don't have these extreme opinions. Right? These corporations, these social media corporations, are top-heavy with left-wing lunatics, people that have these radical fucking opinions that don't have any basis in reality, right? They don't. Right? America, 95% of America is not racist. 95% of the people who, quote, peacefully protested at the George Floyd rallies in New York and California and Washington were not violent people. 95% of them are not. They were voicing an opinion, in that case, against police brutality, which we listen to, all of us, right? But 5% of them are radicalized. 5% of them become the Antifa, the Antifas of the world. Right? Look, it's this reporter's. You wanted people wondering where my teeth are. I'll show you where my teeth are. My teeth. I'm going to show and tell time. Show and tell time. I'm going to show you where my teeth are. You're saying, Conti, where's your teeth? They're right here. There's my teeth. You want to see my teeth? There they are. I save them. I save them because I actually pull them myself. And you say, oh, my God, Conti, you pull your own teeth? That sounds painful. No, they're not. It's not painful to pull your own teeth when they're loose. It's more painful to leave them in there dangling. Right? But anyway, man, so there's my teeth. Ron Frey says, we are now Marcus. Yeah, we're all the same. If you're watching this channel, we're all the same. We're not, I'm not different than you. I'm not. Obviously, if you're paying attention, you realize that I'm not left and I'm not right. I'm right in the middle. The right is crazier than, the extreme right is just as crazy as the extreme left, but the extreme left is infiltrating our public discourse, causing a lot of problems, and you just need to bring them down a few notches. You need to neutralize it so everybody can speak again. What else? What else? Utterly false, says Elon Musk. Musk blasts New York Times for a hate speech report on Twitter. So while this is going on, the New York Times and the Washington Post are revving up the engines of conspiracy. They're revving up the conspiracy theories that Elon Musk is supporting hate speech at Twitter. Is he really? So Twitter owner, let's give him his due. Elon Musk is the owner of Twitter. He owns the company, right? He's no longer an outsider. The insider, the top insider at Twitter, who spent $56 billion of his own money, is telling you this. Why is he telling you? Because it's not true. It's not what actually happened. It's not what he revealed. He's got some kind of higher conspiracy going to manipulate future elections. Are you fucking kidding me? You believe that? No, he's doing it because that's what's actually happening. Twitter owner Elon Musk blasted a New York Times report claiming problematic content and hate speech was on an unprecedented rise on the platform following his takeover, countering early claims by the billionaire. So, New York Times promoting the belief that hate speech is on the rise at Twitter. All the white supremacists, racists are coming to Twitter. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But that's the New York Times. That's the Washington Post. And who do they take their calling, their fucking marching orders from? CIA, FBI. The same people that promote the fucking idea that Russia hacks an election, or that the Hunter Biden laptop, the evidence on the laptop is Russian propaganda. It's the same people doing it. So unequivocally, there it is. So according to the findings by the Center for Countering Digital Hate, the Anti-Defamation League and other groups, the New York Times reported that slurs against black Americans. What the fuck does black America have to do with the Hunter Biden laptop story and Twitter? It has nothing to do with it. No one is on Twitter promoting hate against blacks. Yeah. You got just as many racists, white supremacist racists on Twitter as you do with black, white-hating supremacists on Twitter. They're the same. They're a very, very, very small majority of people. Don't pay attention. Don't give them any mind. And they go away. Trolls feed on your attention. When you fuel them, they increase in size. When you tell, the vast majority of people that Twitter is full of white supremacist racists hating on blacks, all of the black supremacists show up and hate on the whites. You escalate the problem by doing that, New York Times. And we know that. And you know that too. All right? So the evidence is that New York Times reported that 1,280 times a day slurs against blacks increased. Slurs against gays and Jews increased. Right? Musk replied that it's utterly false. Where did you get the information, New York Times? Where did you get the information, fucking Anti-Defamation League? Why don't you listen to the owner of Twitter? He's telling you that data is false. Right? So you could see the writings on the wall. New York Times trying to paint Elon Musk as a white supremacist. He's from South Africa, where they held blacks in apartheid for 300 years. They're Dutch. They're Dutch settlers. They owe the blacks in South Africa reparations. You see, he's a white supremacist. He hates Nelson Mandela. His country, he came here to promote white supremacy at the highest levels of Twitter. Right? You can see how you can connect those dots too. Elon Musk is from South Africa, like many people are from somewhere else. So what? Right? Just because maybe he left South Africa because he disagreed with the government and their white supremacy at the time. Maybe that's why he's here, not because he wants to be there. He wants to be here, where he found his fortune. Right? But here you go. Here's the propaganda machine. Don't look at the fact that the FBI suppressed the fucking laptop. Don't look at that. Look at the fact that Elon Musk is a white supremacist from South Africa. I'm bringing pipe smoking back into vogue. We'll all die on the cross together from cancer. I don't think there's much cancer-causing stuff in here, but I'll let you know. If I can track cancer, I'll be the first to report on it. Anyway, so we know. Look, we know that there's no hate speech, right? How the FBI's nod and wink got social media to censor Hunter Biden's report. So there's one report after another coming out of the New York Post. I mean, look, New York Post has skin in the game. They're the ones who broke the story, and they should be credited for breaking that story. And now with the help of Elon Musk, we're finding out the true details of the event. Even Nick Sandmann, you remember? Enter Sandman, Nick Sandman, the very young gentleman who, remember Nick? He went to the parade. He went to the Promote Life parade rally in Washington, D.C., and on the steps of the Lincoln Monument was accosted by black racists who were accusing him of white privilege, and an Indian man banging a drum 2 inches off his nose. And his response was to smile and not respond. And for that, he was a white supremacist at 16 years old, right? So you remember this young gentleman, Covington Catholic high school student, Nicholas Sandmann? He wants Elon Musk to release any hidden Twitter files about death threats against him and his classmates. Well, that's asking a lot, Mr. Sandman. You should have captured those screenshots as they evolved. Get your lawyers to dig them up. There's one here, right here. Here's a guy named Jack Morrissey. MAGA kids go screaming, hats first, into the wood chipper. So here you go. Here's a leftist radical, violent radical, suggesting in a comical way that we should put anybody wearing a MAGA hat into a wood chipper first. Hats first. right? Now, there is comedy to that. There is a political opinion attached to that, but there is a violent nature to what they're saying. Do I think something like this should be censored? Absolutely not. Do I think Kathy Gifford, whatever the one that had Trump's dead head in her hand, should she be censored for speaking such words or showing such images? Absolutely not. I think that free speech is free speech. And so I'm sorry, Nick. I don't know. Maybe Elon Musk will do a little bit of a dump, and we'll see. Let's check in the markets. NASDAQ is, we're going a little red right now. We're going a little red on technology. Technology might be losing their strong arm, the strong arm of justice. So, ooh. Oh, I'm tired, man. I'm not tired. I'm winded. I'm winded. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. My name is Marcus Conte. See you guys tomorrow.